You can start.
Alright, so as you guys stated, it does cost money to build the plants and places to collect this energy, such as dams to build hydroelectricity. Um, but if we're able to convert enough energy and it would basically pay for the dam in itself. For example, we have the dam that's somewhere off towards the end of the Niagara Falls that produces all kinds of energy because of the natural force of the water. That and the fact that it doesn't give off greenhouse gases like gas or oils. Greenhouse gases are what are killing our our ozone. Sorry. And with the ozone dying out, more of the solar can't think of the word.
Radiation.
There you go. Solar radiation is emitted into our atmosphere. Um, Along with that, and I'm sorry guys, I totally messed that up. I don't know what to say.
Are you up for questioning?
Yeah, I'm open for questioning.
Okay. You talked about the dam in Niagara Falls. Does that just produce energy for that region up there?
I'm guessing so.
Okay? So it'd be like,
Uh, for the fact that when you use dams to produce energy, it'd have to be distributed somewhere in that local area.
so it would pretty much power New York City and that's it.
Something like that, yeah.
So how are you gonna help places like Lahana, where we don't have a river, or we don't have a powerful river to
Well,
control a dam?
we've got the dam up in John Martin. We go John Martin.
Does that help us down here?
At this point in time, I'm not sure.
Got a question?
Moderator has a question. Since it was brought up that Lahana doesn't have a powerful river, are there other alternatives to provide, for example, electricity in Lahana if it's not fossil fuel, but it is an alternative base?
We could use windmills for wind energy. Yeah, like we have up in Lamar. Or we've got solar panels. I know there's a house over by the city park that actually has solar panels on the roof.
30 seconds. Did that open up any more questions?
Yes. Solar energy, it needs multiple land, right, for the panels?
It can. Yeah.
Towns like ours is a major agricultural based zone. What happens if you take away those areas for solar energy power plants, for the panels?
Well,
That's time. We will allow time for the answer.
along with that, we have a lot of land that isn't being used for agriculture, so if we invested in putting the plants there, then we don't have to take the agricultural parts away from a small town like Lahana.
Okay. This will be your 3-minute work period in preparation for response. Alright, time. We will open up the 2-minute responses. Crow first.
Yeah.
You can go ahead and start.
Well, pros for alternative energy. For biomass, can grow when needed. And a lot of people use in solar energy to save money. It may be expensive at first, but then in the meantime, as it goes on, it will save you a lot more money than getting, well, it'll just save you a lot more money. Most people would probably end up going towards using solar panels and hydroelectric power, wind power, because eventually it would end up, in the meantime, the fossil fuels will end up
30 seconds.
crashing down. And now we go to discussion.
Any
Or
questions? Just a point of clarification, is it your consensus or your point that the cost for startup will eventually be offset by the savings?
Yes.
Does that raise any questions? Okay. That's the 2 minutes. And now we have 2 minutes for response from Conside.
Fossil fuels, yes, it is slowly depleting, but there's still many reserves. Some, such as Alaska, there's a very large reserve up there. I believe it is the 5th largest reserve in the world. Even though fossil fuels may slowly start dying out, we have natural gases to back it up. Natural gases meets 24% of U.S. energy demand. It's already starting to become is bigger than some other things. It powers 51% of homes. It heats up 51% of housing and keeps everything running. Whereas things on biomass, it can cause feedstock problems. It can lead to depletion of agricultural demands. It requires good management all the time. It needs constant surveillance, and it's a limited potential. Even solar energy can be a limited potential because of setting up panels, setting up an energy source, or an energy battery to store all this energy, and such on. And wind energy, it
30 seconds.
requires wind energy is complicated due to local weather patterns, temperatures, location, and times of the year, because weather is always changing and you cannot predict winds. Another one is natural gases is becoming a big thing. Fossil fuels is in the lead a little bit, but natural gases is coming up right behind it just in case fossil fuels fall short.
That's time. We'll allow 1 minute for work for final summation. Time? Okay, we'll allow 2 minutes for position summary, and Pro can go first. Go ahead and start.
We have said that alternative energy is better than fossil fuels because of the amount of because it produces less CO2 emissions and other pollutants than oil and coal and some of the other fossil fuels. Also that it is very abundant because it's pretty much renewable. And that it also has many forms, like biomass, wind, solar energy, and nuclear. Also, it doesn't really need any waste.
1 minute.
I waiver my minute.
Okay, I'll take the questions. Point of clarification from moderator. When you point out that it's multiple various abilities to do it, can these be tailored to each region?
Well, it depends on the region. I mean, if for like biomass, for instance, it would have to be something that is supported within the ecosystem. I mean, you can't use something that doesn't naturally grow or can be supported in that environment. Trying to grow something somewhere in the tropics in the desert, you can't do that.
Can I expand on that?
Sure.
I think it can be tailored to each region. For example, Florida. Really sunny, a lot of times. Solar panels would be a great place for that.
Time will allow for the phases.
You can go to places like up towards the Great Lakes where they got flowing water. Build a dam, you got hydroelectricity there. I think it can be tailored to each region perfectly.
Okay. We have 2 minutes for Con to do their position summary.
Okay, well, we've talked about how abundant oil, natural gas, and coal is. And not so much coal, but natural gas and oil. We've talked about the abundance. We've talked about how much it costs. Yeah, fuel prices are up, but it still costs less than converting and making your plants. But going back on what the moderator said about tailor making it, you don't have to tailor make fossil fuels. You can ship them and they're easier to handle. You don't have to worry about really like storing the energy, you have to worry about storing the fuel source. And so, and Connor also talked about how natural gases are used in the households already, about 51%, and how it meets about 24% of the U.S. energy demand. So that's why I think we stick to fossil fuels, and we have I don't know, I lost it. I'm a professional.
What if you stick to fossil fuels? I mean, what if those went out? Then yeah, but you have natural gases. And then what we said that natural gases are non-renewable. So once that runs out, then what? Once natural gases and fossil fuels run out, then what happens?
Well, then, once they run out, we'll have to switch to something, but it'll be a long time before it runs out. It has enough for the last us.
Next time.